Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it would be.
How
So
people responded to that?
they love it. I mean, the users love it. They think it's fantastic. It alleviates a lot of web searching for themselves, and it incorporates the price of the project right into the changes that they made to their own home, which is something that they've really attached to and really looking forward to. Yeah, go ahead. Caitlin, yeah, sorry.
I'm a goof.
Yeah.
So I had a few ideas. One of them was my family in the Springs, our house is primarily wood, and we have an extreme woodpecker problem. Now we're looking for creative solutions to that. So I'm just like, if you can think outside the box of weird things that you don't expect as a homeowner, but come at you.
Or your full house in corrugated metal.
Right, we have chunks of corrugated metal, and it's starting to look like a Dalmatian. So it's like, our neighbors don't like it, so we have to come up with clever ideas all the time. We had a hawk for a while, and I knew the hawk was fake. So I was also thinking you could lean into like tips and tricks for the home, and
Yeah.
just like people don't know like shoveling laws. You could kind of think of ways to keep people with like fun facts about your home coming back. And it's
Yeah.
like if we put my mom's home, all that stats in, and we were just had that membership constant, like my sister could just in a 5 months we need new windows. You know, in 4 months we're gonna be able to afford a bathtub. So it's like
I like what
people
you said. So like, it's almost like it would be a database of all the things you've done. It's almost
Right.
like a platform of ownership of your home.
Right.
Aspects.
Yeah, like almost like a sharing and then that way it already remembers too that your shutters are different.
Right.
So or you can even rate the shutters
Mhm.
after.
Sure.
Cool. That's a great
I like
idea.
that
Thank
idea.
you. I'll think about for your mom's house. Send you a
But to
photo.
answer your dilemma, your very first dilemma, try rubber snakes up on the roof.
Okay.
Makes a world of difference with woodpeckers.
We will do that next.
Rubber snakes?
We are desperate. It's
That I know.
Wow.
Well, you can go get real snakes, but they're not
They'll
gonna stay
go
up
off,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
An interesting thing to look at for revenue in terms of like partnerships might be like this like paint colors from there and stuff, like paint chips that you do on stuff, or like different wood floorings that come from like or probably not consumer, but like what's it Lowe's or something? It's not really flooring.
Definitely great idea.
That's actually what I was thinking too. I mean, even, it sounds like you're thinking of this anyway, that you put a shutter over it and it shows like where it can come from, but maybe if someone paid you a certain amount, theirs comes up first.
Yeah.
And then they can carry your website for all the
Yeah,
users.
prioritize the grouping.
Yeah.
So I really don't want, from a lot of research I've done on Aspen websites, you know, it really turns off people, the amount of advertisements.
Right.
I don't want it to become a pop-up all the
Right.
time,
Well,
where then people just
You
get
could just get
frustrated.
a percent of the sale. You take
Yeah,
20%.
it can be like on your like chip, like on like whatever you're dragging here, and then here can be like a small logo in the corner of that or something. Not
Right,
like
right,
Yeah. Okay, that's not fair.
Kind of what they're saying, I think we need that advertising is really helpful. Like, if you go on BuzzFeed or something, most of those are sponsored articles. So if you endorse a shade, you can link to Lowe's or something and say, and they might have another link that talks about how to install that shade. So you have like the ability for people to do their research, but you're also promoting your company because you can write those articles for you and tell people, you know, how to help them.
Yeah.
Like all recipes will throw in food that's on sale. Like if you look at the recipe, it'll be like tomatoes are on sale at Safeway today, and it'll change.
Right.
Developing the software and like the whole tech system seems like a huge endeavor, and that's really the crux of what you need to do this. So what have you been able to learn from looking at people like Benjamin Moore, where you can change your paint color, or the interior design websites that let you move your furniture? Is there a way to fast track? Because it feels like that would be a real big holdup to making this actionable quicker. But yet, I mean, people have been doing this for a long time, right? You can get a haircut. You can see what a haircut would look like by putting this hair on your face, right? So we know there's a real need. We know there's an opportunity, but the tech to do it is really hard. What have you learned from the competitors or from other people who are in this business?
So at first, when we first started, a lot of people said the technology's not there yet. to get like accurate measurements.
But this was years ago, so we.
Or 2 years, yeah, a year or two ago, but now the technology exists. One of our teammates, or mentors, Matt, he first thing said, yeah, technology exists, he knows. So he's already, we have a meeting tomorrow with the
Oh,
Accelerator,
great.
to really figure out, and there's some really cool products that are coming out with Google within the next, year that are, taking the augmented reality. Cause that's the part that, is missing, is before, like there in those, it looked almost like using paint. Remember paint when, the application?
Mhm.
It's almost like taking
Yeah.
this black
Mhm.
triangle or black square and putting it somewhere. It doesn't look as realistic, but the augmented reality that's coming out with Google is fixing that. And so some of it is waiting to sort of see what they're doing and talk to some, Matt says he knows a lot of people who are doing that stuff to figure out how we can also be at the precipice of what's happening. Because they're doing some great stuff. They're doing one where you can shop at Lowe's and you can, and Wayfair, and you can now, using your phone, add, like, I'm gonna put that table here, and the table that's on their website to see how it fits in your room, and it fills up the space according to the measurements. So the technology's there now, it's just creating it.
Yeah. And who could potentially you partner with to help pay for that expense?
Yeah.
Would Benjamin Moore be interested in what you're doing because of the benefit it's gonna have to them and their paints or whatever it may be? It just, it's a costly
It's a
process.
costly,
Yes.
yes,
Endeavor, much
Exactly.
more than people ever realize.
right, exactly, I know, and so, that's when I decided to do this program, because I thought, this is a great idea, but unfortunately, I don't have the skill set to make it happen, if I knew how to code and do those things. So yeah, it's a cost that I have to then pay, so I thought, if anything, at least I can talk to people to find out, like, what am I in for? Is it something that I go, yeah, I'm gonna do something else, I don't know, you know? So
Right.
I think it's
Great,
at least worth exploring to see,
great.
yeah, thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From there. So, I think what we'll do, I would just wanna be respectful of Louise's time. So Louise Feldman is our librarian here at CSU. So, we'll go ahead and have her speak to you guys, and then we'll kind of take a break at that point, just so that we can be respectful of her time. So, come on up, please, and we'll get you loaded up too. You probably have a presentation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get you loaded up on, the computer that Mark's getting here. So we really wanted to bring Louise in so that she could really tell you guys what's available at CSU in terms of resources. Our library pays a lot of money to get you access to things there. So I would also say that equally the Coon Valley River Library that we have over in Old Town, equally amounts of like amazing research that you guys have access to over there. So Louise will just take some time here, about 30 minutes, just to tell you guys what you have access to here. And this should really help you guys get down to, when you're telling people you have a market of X dollars or X people or your industry looks like this, that's all the stuff that that Louise is gonna help you try to figure out where to find that kind of information. Okay, cool. Welcome. And you got. Oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna give you guys so who didn't do updates today? Can we just do a quick elevator pitch, just real quick, so Louise knows who you guys are? You wanna start?
Mine was recently rewritten.
Okay.
So it might be a bit of reading.
Go for it.
Your doctor and surgeon wash their hands and sterilize their medical equipment between each patient. This is a given. But what if it weren't? What if you were receiving emergency care in a clinic that doesn't have the ability to sterilize their medical equipment? Would you feel safe? Most likely not. Many clinics in developing nations lack the ability to sterilize their medical equipment due to a lack of dependable power and equipment. Sunster seeks to solve this problem. Sunster is a company that provides solar-powered autoclaves to medical clinics in developing nations. Using current solar technologies, we are building an affordable autoclave that runs on renewable energy. This product will not only reduce the rate of post-op infections around the world, but also reduce the need for antibiotics and further medical care after surgical procedures. Sunster could save lives using technology.
Who else didn't?
Hi, I'm Caitlin McLaughlin. I am the founder and owner of Caitlin Mack Clothing Company. Caitlin Mack Clothing Company provides socially conscious, full-figured female clothing. Our goal is to provide jobs in rural Colorado while providing a steady line of basics
And then these basics will be accented by 2 designer collections throughout the year.
Hi, my name is Sadie, and I'm one of the co-founders of SideQuest. And SideQuest is an online video game publication that focuses on the people involved in the gaming industry and brings more of a social aspect to the industry. Gamers are currently trying to connect to each other online using platforms like Reddit and YouTube, but mainstream gaming publications are failing to bring this human connection to their publications. And we want to create engaging multimedia content that tells the stories of gamers and kind of breaks the stereotypes that gamers face. So when you think of gamers, you probably think of a 13-year-old boy in their basement, in their parents' basement, playing Call of Duty. But in reality, 81% of adults ages 18 to 29 play video games regularly, and 60% of people ages 30 to 49 also play video games. So at SideQuest, we want to tell the stories of those gamers in order to break the stereotypes.
All right. So the greasy car salesman and that flat jacket piece history, right? So you go to a car dealership and you're looking to trade your automobile in. On the other end of the phone, they have no idea what your vehicle looks like, so they're gonna lowball you with a low offer on your car for that trading value. Well, let's raise this value up a little bit. Let's get you more money for your car. So with Test Drive, you can take a 360 virtual reality picture of your car and send it to the dealership so they know exactly what they're gonna get, and you can get a little bit more money out of that trading value for your car.
Okay.
Hi, I am Ayush. My company name is Amsapient. So Amsapient focus on building data-driven solution for some of the complex problems in society. One of the biggest problem in today's healthcare that patients are not getting really good healthcare outside while they pay a lot to hospitals. So taking a very simple example, when you apply to some of the graduate schools, for example at CSU, you compile your resume, your work and everything and send it to the file to the graduate committee. They look on their file and make a decision saying, okay, yes, you are a candidate who can excel in our program. Similarly, what my software is going to do is going to look on your health records, your previous 10 years, or your health conditions, is going to predict it, what is going to be your health in the next 10 years, like what diseases you can have and what diseases you cannot have. So basically, you're trying to save lives.
Great.
Great, everybody? Okay, so, this was a little bit challenging, kind of figuring out how to kind of present to you guys, because you all have very, very different projects going on, so. That said, obvious things, you'd think that information must exist in the world, and it really kind of doesn't. I'll just give you this kind of weird example. Several years ago, I had a student looking for wanted soil maps of Libya. You'd think that would exist somewhere. Well, it did. The British did a soil map back in the day in World War II, but that was it. There's nothing been done since then. And so that took a lot of work figuring out if that even existed in the world. So it didn't. And we looked everywhere. But so that's an example. And then you also want to think about what your industry is. That can be a bit of a challenge. It's much easier to find information on U.S. industries, much easier to find information on broad sector level industry, manufacturing, as opposed to something more niche. Although we do have a good amount of industry reports on U.S. sites in the library. If it's outside the United States, much harder to find. There's just not a lot of information providers that provide industry reports outside of the U.S. If they do, it's often, Asia or continent level, Africa. It's not more than that. So keep that in mind. You want to think about what kind of customers, if it's consumers, if it's business to business. I think you guys all thought about this stuff. And then where? Is it local? Is it online? Those types of things. Any questions about that stuff? All right, so Levy's homepage, refresher hopefully. Here it is. So I just wanted to point out and we'll take a look at some of the stuff here. Books Plus tab. So this Books Plus tab, you would not probably think, oh, I'll look into the books for information on my industry or maybe market. Well, you might be wrong. There's a surprising amount of information under the Books Plus tab. We also are a government depository, so we'll have information from the government as well. And gems of information sometimes. For example, well, this is information about venture creation, so you can find information on the broad side of things, but also gaming industry. Oh, I found some interesting books about the gaming industry and trends of the gaming industry. That are, those are from 2012, 2013, but still, that might be interesting to see what's going on. So sometimes you can find quite interesting information in the catalog. Also, we have these publications called Euromonitor that are in the catalog. The most recent version we have is 2014. These are great for consumer information. Some stuff on the Americas, lump on the United States and the Americas, but the consumer Europe and world detailed data statistics, there's other titles as well. Some great information in those. So don't discount the Levy's catalog. Okay, and then articles and databases. We'll talk about some of the databases that I think might be useful to you guys. And I just wanted to point out how they're organized. We do have them organized by subject area, so for example, business, and then various subcategories as well. I'm going to highlight some of the databases we have. We have these RKMA market research reports. I love these reports. They come out once a year. They're huge. They're 500 pages. They're books. They're just amazing. I think this Richard K. Miller, I think he's his own operation. But these are absolutely incredible. So I don't know if you can see this, but we've got business marketing, consumer behavior, consumer marketing, consumer use of the internet and mobile web. There's healthcare business marketing research, international consumer markets, retail business market, travel tourism, etc. These publications, tons of information, and like I said, 500 pages or so, and there's links to more information, where to go to get even more information about that topic. Incredible. So I encourage you to take a look at these. They're great. We've been buying them every year. They're only in this weird kind of format, but they're fantastic. So take a look at those. Really hard information to find. Business Source Complete is one of our article databases. I think sometimes it gets overlooked for research like this, market research or industry research, but it does have some great stuff. I looked up plus size and clothing and found some really interesting trends that are happening right now in that area. So it's a great place to go find trends in certain areas. So I just did a search on plus size and clothing and got some great results. So
Yeah, I've been in grad school a couple years and I never was sent that way, but that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and Business Source Complete it indexes the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal has an amazing amount of stuff, on all kinds of industries and market research and things like that. It also has Harvard Business Reviews in here, MIT Sloan, there's trade publications from around the world, and scholarly journals as well. So there's a lot of tons of information in Business Source Complete, so I encourage you to take a look. There's also some market research stuff that I've found in here as well. Yeah, the data. Another database, this is one of our newer ones. The public library has it, and we have it too. Mergent Intellect. This is a directory database, U.S. and global companies. If you are looking for competitors, this is a good place to go. 70 million North American businesses, 245 million global businesses. They don't have a ton of information about the companies, but a decent amount. They also in here have demographics, and they have these prism household distributions. So if your customers are consumers, you can look by different geographic regions and find kind of this socio-demographic information on consumers in those areas, which is kind of cool. They also have residential information, which is a little creepy, but if you want to put together distribution,
Is that like the old Info America?
it is, yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, so if we looked up, you can actually look up somebody's individual household. We looked up Tony Frank's household. And it'll tell you how much the household makes, what magazine subscriptions they have,
It's
the
wow.
That's
pets,
really personal.
so you can look up your parents. Friends and
Yeah,
family.
it's super creepy. But it's great if you need to create a distribution list. It's awesome. There's some other things in Merchant Intellect that we have on a short-term basis. There's some industry reports in there. I don't know how long we'll have those, and some industry ratios too, but those are kind of short-term. Yes?
So how do we access this? Do you have to go into the library?
Yeah, so that databases. So this area, when you go into articles and databases, the databases are available via by title. So
Okay,
I'm
but we
giving
can
you-
just access this from any
Yeah.
computer?
Yeah, and you just, if you're on campus, you'll go right into it. If you try and go into the databases from off campus, it'll ask for your EID username.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't think about that. I'm talking to classes all. Okay, so that's Merchant Intellect. I encourage you to take a look at that. Yeah.
And so you said this was for like competitor research, and will it tell you like market penetration and all that kind of stuff?
No, you can't find that, but you can if you put in an industry and a geographic location, and this is worldwide, and you can find companies that are operating in that industry. In the United States, you can also they have a mapping tool, so you can find within a certain geographic region as well. There's a lot of kind of cool functionality in there.
Is it physical businesses or like online as well?
It's physical business, well, they'll have online as well, but with mapping capability, it might be just, their headquarters and that sort of thing, but, yeah. But if you put in, you can choose industry, location, you can choose the size of the company, and then you can find competitors that way.
But as far as like online companies go, it won't tell you much more than who they are and who they're headquartered.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of details, it's essentially a directory database, but, there's other ways to dig around to find information about the companies, if they're private, or to start, or something like that, yeah. Oh, and this is what it looks like when you go searching in it, so you can see, you can, search by US companies, international companies, and then you can search by location, industry, size, financials, and keywords. Another one that I like, IBIS World, this is U.S. industry reports. There's about 900 industry reports in here. It includes newer and niche industries. This is a really nice place to go just to find information about the industries. The reports are pretty comprehensive. I encourage you to look at it. They update their reports every year. And they'll have, like I said, newer industries. They have a ride-sharing industry report that I was really surprised to see. I haven't seen anything about that anywhere else. So they're pretty on top
those companies, it is all inclusive. I mean, in industry, those reports are pretty pricey.
Yeah, they're
And
very
you get them for free. I don't know what the database costs in CSU, but I'll bet it's more than, 3 figures. You know, these things are really pricey. Great information there.
Yeah, and I just will, they collect their information from a huge number of sources, so they spend a lot of time analyzing these industries and putting together these really nice reports, a lot of graphics and things like that. I'm sorry I didn't have a screenshot of this for it. And then Google Scholar, I love, which, depending on what your business is, it can be really interesting. I looked at secondary education Cambodia just to see what was popping up, and got some stuff. It will pick up, NGO reports sometimes, pick up stuff that's hard to find and just search in some business databases. It tends to be articles and reports. Okay. But I like that, searching in articles too. Oh, you guys, TechCrunch. I love TechCrunch. You guys. It's free, it's free. TechCrunch, they keep their finger on the pulse of the startup industry. I mean, they really do. And so I was pulling up some, I just love it. And they have information on startups as well, called Crunchbase, which is their kind of company, information side of it. But I just pulled out some, Click Mechanics, the UK on-demand car mechanic startup. So I just think about that. Hydrate Me, connected water bottle or glow when you take a sip. I was just trying to find stuff that was kind of similar to what you guys are doing. On-demand moving app, Lug, it's Silicon Valley. Yeah. So anyway, take a look at that, and they have information about funding, these companies, these startups, you know, their angel investors, what kind of funding they get, who's taking over who, you know, all that stuff. It's really fun.
The guys that started this, they were really the original Silicon Valley, info people. So people would, what this guy, or when he started out, what he reviewed, everybody listened to. And, I mean, if he gave you a good review as a company, money flew to you.
And you can, yeah, you can really see how.
And he's grown it into this huge business. I think they generate $500,000 to $1 million a month in profit now.
And they were bought out.
Or were they?
Yeah, so take a look at TechCrunch. What did you find in TechCrunch? Is that in the database as well? Or is that
No, that's,
there's the URL, techcrunch.com. Okay. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, government resources, don't discount those, those can be very, very useful. The government collects a great deal of information about industries. They also collect a lot of information about consumer buying behavior and that sort of thing. You have to dig around a whole lot. And sometimes the information that is available can be a little bit dated. It just depends, but don't discount that. There's a lot that can be found. And then also for those folks that are doing international stuff, UN and World Bank, I love, you find a lot of information, you have to dig a bit, but sometimes you can find some great chunks of information with them as well.
Can you tell me just real quick on these government documents? Years ago when we were working out at the Inosphere, I think you helped with one of the companies, and it was this survey, and I don't know if the government still does it, but it's the Consumer Expenditure Survey.
Yes.
And they don't publish it because of, on the fringes, the data isn't really reliable because it's a small number. But Shelby find it, I called the US Statistical office, and somebody called me back, and they emailed me all of this data. I mean, the data that they don't publish on their site, but they just sent it to me, just said, oh yeah. I mean, I talked to the actual guy that compiles the statistics, and just called him up on the phone, and I mean, I was stunned that they were that helpful, the Census Bureau and some of those data. I mean, it's the one part where I said, my dollars to taxes I'm happy for.
Hang on.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are responsive, you know, it's like, you're giving me something that's useful. And the consumer expenditure survey, the one I have is from '08, and that's how long it's been, but, it's phenomenal. I mean, they tell you how much an average household buys of everything. Ground beef, pet supplies, cleaning supplies is what we're looking for, cleaning services, everything, so.
Where we fund that?
Well, like I said, I don't know if it's still going on, but it's
It
consumer
is,
expenditure.
it's through the, it's through the Bureau of Labor Statistics, if you just.
It's a free report.
Yeah, oh yeah, all the data from the, there's a ton of government data that it's all free, you just have to find it, it's a little bit, and I can help you, you can send me an email and I can help you out too, but, if you do, consumer expenditure in Google and then, like I said, you keyword and then site::gov, it'll find it for you, but I'm pretty sure it's with the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And then the census too, gathers a great deal of information as well.
And that survey wasn't public, you couldn't get it off of the internet.
Yeah, there's they only would have part
Just
of it.
a little bit, yeah.
Right, but you can contact them a lot of times now, so if they have more, yeah.
So Louise, would you, just example, I mean, just fill in the string there, keyword.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
give me an example.
a
or-
really good way to look for, government information in Google is to put in a keyword and then you type in site::gov. And that will limit to government sites. Now, it'll also give you, state government sites as well. But it's oftentimes a better way to search in Google for, government information than going to the Census Bureau or any of the other organizations to find information. It'll also help you identify, government organizations that are collecting information in that area too. So, it works a lot better, I think. I don't know why, well. And then the same, for, like the UN, World Bank, trade organizations, if you do the keyword site::org, it will help you identify trade organizations. Trade organizations can be a great source of information as well. Sometimes they have, a significant amount of free information on their site. I think that's, oh, what do I have here? Oh. What's here? Oh, so I just wanted to mention that there's a bunch of research guides that we put together at the library. You can see, that guides have at the end. Here's some of the business guides I put together. I have one on entrepreneurship, company information, industry information, marketing, and these will lead you to library resources and other resources that might be helpful for your research. But I just wanted to point that out, and that's under that guides tab on the library's information. This is an example of my entrepreneurship guide. This all goes to more information.
With all these, so I'm sorry, moving down on the left here.
Yeah.
This is like navigates you to different.
Yes, industry
guides.
resources, marketing, yes, international marketing, social media. We're constantly working on these, so. Okay. What kind of questions do you guys have?
Louise, do you still, have that local library? So I remember there were for a while when not everybody could have, when the resources were really tight.
Yeah.
If you didn't have something you know, you say, well, go here, go to that library.
Right, so I still, Ann McDonald is the business librarian at the public library. I still say, I stay in touch with her quite a bit. And I know some of the other local librarians at UNC, Loveland Public Library. Yeah, we will, kind of, if we can't find something, we'll ask one another and see if the others have it. Sometimes the public library, I'm not sure their mix these days, they had for a while a few more entrepreneurial resources than we did. But I think we've caught up over the years, so. But yeah, we, librarians are kind of that way. If we can't find something, we have a super amazing network of librarians elsewhere. I know a lot of business librarians in the United States, and so I contact them constantly and ask them for help if I can find something. Usually somebody else has the answer. Yep.
Do you subscribe to the Gartner reports?
No, we don't. No. I'd love to get them. They're really expensive. That's.
Real expensive.
Yeah, Gardner, Forrester. Yeah, I'd love to have them, but they're kind of those things really expensive, yeah.
So for my research in healthcare industry, database where I can find them, like personal information is stripped off on the database, then one can share them, and that's the law basically. So, do you know any database where I can access that?
There may be,
I was searching on health.gov, but there was no relevant information from my project. It was just very general information like which hospitals are following the EHR records and what are not following. That's very general information.
government has it, but you said it's restricted unless.
Yeah, restricted to I think for laws there.
Right.
But if you remove all the personal information like the name,
Right.
picture, and like where do they live and everything, then yeah, it's just a general data.
Right, and so, yeah, I'm not 100% sure who the agency would be, but, and sometimes the restriction, like you have to be doing research in order to use the information, that sort of thing, right? So, I can help you figure out who that agency would be, I can actually around a lot of times in the email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Health and Human Services.
Yeah, it'd probably be something like that, yeah, I can figure it out.
Shower today.
Yeah. Other questions? Guys, please feel free to send me an email if you have questions, if you want to sit down with me, if you want to ask, what resources you think we should look in, that sort of thing, I'm happy to help you out.
So, yeah, let's just take a quick break then, before we get into our next big part. So yeah, let's take like 5 minutes, be back here, so we can keep going.
Some of these, I'm like mentors. To go through or going the extra mile.
Okay, just because they have like some colleagues in them, so I thought that might be, to them, but yeah, that would be awesome, and I'll just load them up on their Google Drive. Would these be helpful for future use for are these pretty general? Okay.
I'll just send it, I can send it to you.
Yeah, so we'll just put an electronic copy in the Google Drive.
Yeah.
I'll keep these for you guys, like,
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
There's a scheduling plugin. Well, at least maybe it's just
I have like 50 varieties of peas.
That's true, you can do that now.
A tea might be more aggressive.
That's a push. I canceled. Pretty interactive. 4 hours in a row. Oh, that is the worst thing you can do. Bill can beat you down so nicely. Oh no, I mean, Bill is my hero in that. He will do it in the nicest way, and you it's just amazing how he is. I mean, and he does that to CEOs or kids. I mean, he has no.
But it was basically what happened, was he wrote like two numbers on the board and said something, he just was like, can you add those up to this one kid in the audience? And the kid's like, well, I haven't been doing math very long.
So basically,
And she just goes, can you please answer the question? Or he's like, and you were teaching off. The kid was like, what is this? And he's like, thank you. But I had met him a couple times before that, so I knew what he was
He does
doing.
it all the way that very well.
Yeah, if anybody still owes me paperwork or program fees,
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Flexible bullets, boys. I'll put it in my calendar.
In all caps.
It's going in my calendar.
All caps. Thank you, Louise. Thank you. Take care.
See you, please.
So are you guys?
Yeah, just think about water.
she said, next
Okay. Well, they have the ice. There's like cups of ice.
All right, I'll look up here and see what they're about.
Anyone besides the fire. Yeah, so go up here to what you hike drive. There's like 100 and
So that's your company folder. Okay. So, and you haven't like moved it already into your drive? Okay. And then you pull up